not have forgotten the name. It was just a goal.
Problem you're too green for this.
No, not even. If you know one thing about me, I am very objective when it comes to this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, this was actually a good game.
It was a good game.
Usually, games of this magnitude are so boring.
Yeah.
But it was quite something. I'll tell you. If you are ready, I'm good.
If we're ready for what?
To go.
Go away. What battle of Zimbabwe was good.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I think in some time, I think it's because of what was at stake. The guys, they really put everything out there. Like, you know, games of that magnitude usually are boring. And remember, they end up becoming wars, like literally wars. Yes, as much as I am pro-passion in a game of football, but what we saw, I liked the hard work that we're putting. If I'm to single out a person in that game to say that was my man of the match, I would give it to Telone FC. The guy ran, to a standstill. He covered every blade of grass. But, you know, even when Islanders scored early, you know how then I was doing the floor. I was the floor manager. So it was so deafening. I could not even communicate via my communication devices. To communicate to the guys that were in the van to say, to give them what would have happened.
Yeah.
Because of how deafening the noise then became.
Yeah.
And usually for football, putting any other thing aside, I think the best venue is Baba Fields because you will have the right atmosphere. And for such a game, it was that. Then
do you know what they call Baba Fields now?
What do they call it?
Anfield.
Oh, okay, I'm not going. Oh, don't even start.
Best atmosphere in Zimbabwe.
I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We'll get to that.
All right.
But here's the thing. You know, it was so deafening, and Islanders began sort of dominating that phase of play. Then somehow Dynamos did not go to sleep. They continued working.
Well, they can't go to sleep now.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said earlier on, it's probably about what was at stake. But, you know, of course, I'm one person who has said quality has gone down in our local football. No disrespect to anyone. But the guys played, they gave us a game that you could watch and enjoy. It had almost everything. The guys, they continued your Abel, what's his name? Kwatito, he was doing very well. You go to Highlanders, you'd see and your Navaya is trying and trying. It was just that game that was, for me, for a game of that magnitude, I think it did live up to its expectation. And then I also liked the attendance. Though there are certain things that I did not like from the fan.
We'll talk about that. Doughty, you had the same feeling at Bubbafield Stadium?
Well, I think the atmosphere, just like you said, Anfield. Nobody wants to go there and play against Liverpool.
Well, except Manchester United.
But nowadays, even for those who are in the stands, they can feel the passion, the drive to support their own teams. Look at the Bamba crowd that was at Baba Fields. From what we heard, that tickets ran out. There were still more people who wanted to watch
the game.
Harare versus Bulawayo. Then the football on the field was perfect. Unfortunately, like what Bevan said, there are some incidents that are always keeping on going on at Baba Fields when the home team is playing there. The rowdy elements are not good for our football advertisement. You can tell, like what he said, Pio ran the show. The boy grew up in Bari. He's practically from Bari. So going to play at Baba Fields is like playing at Rufaro, where you know that these are the kind of games that motivate me. These are the kind of games that makes you a better player of tomorrow. If you look at the way Highlanders intimidate their opponents, the week before the match or days towards the match, you can tell the atmosphere in Bulawayo that is different. This is Harare versus Bulawayo, Dynamos versus Highlanders. Highlanders, the oldest team in Zimbabwe, versus the second oldest team in Zimbabwe. Who is going to come on top for the Battle of Zimbabwe? It was 1-1. But it was very, very exciting. Yes, we had 2 stoppages, which were not good for our football because of the fans. They wanted to win, but we need to make sure that they remain calm, level-headed, and disciplined so that they can rally their teams. What if the game had been abandoned? 3 points, fine.
That's another concern. Yes, we love the passion in football. Yes, and we love the atmosphere at Barberfield Stadium. But we can't have a situation where in every stadium we are having scenarios where games have to be stopped, and some people just can't behave. We can't just let it go.
Yeah. I think I think it comes back to our systems. Actually, it cannot probably be confined to one specific stadium. In general, I think we need to look at our systems and correct our systems. There are certain, I'll tell you, I was part of the team that covered the game, and we had set up just outside, the Soweto stand, just behind the Soweto stand. That's where we had set up. We had put our broadcasting van there because it was not the big one; it was the smaller one. So we then have our gazebos there and set up our tables and everything out there. I'll tell you, our graphic guys and editors, they were at some point these fans, they actually threw urine onto our machines and everything. We imagine urine during the game, during the broadcast. Somebody just threw a container with urine all over our computers and our tables and on the guys. And one fan, we have him on video anyway. One fan, we have him on video. He had the audacity to urinate, it's like he was in a toilet at a urinary, but he was everything there bare.
What is it?
Public indecency and everything. He was doing that. There's a guy.
What is it? Some sort of juju? What is it?
It's not even juju. It's just some rowdy elements. You can't say Islanders are that, but
the elements within that
that are just like that, because Islanders, like you said, is the oldest football club. They've gone through everything that football is about. But there are elements maybe within the fans that need to be controlled. Where I think the club can do better in terms of where marshals are stationed. You are imagine.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not a part of even what's happening on the field. I am covering for the sake of everyone else everywhere. It then disturbs the working environment.
Yeah.
Really.
All you're trying to do is doing your job, isn't it?
Exactly. So I think these will definitely lodge a complaint for that. To say, when we bring, broadcasting equipment is a bit expensive.
Yes.
So somebody, if they pour their urine on that, there are toilets down there. Just go down and leave yourself. Don't do that, and you spoil the game. So these are things that we don't want. Then comes maybe to miss out throwing. It's not, world over, there is general acceptance that referees are human beings and they can make mistakes. So if they do make mistakes, there is a way we register our discontent. We can't always resort to hooliganism or violence. It was not excessive. It was not severe. It was just a few guys who felt
the referee.
But you'd see that the guys from Soweto and were actually, appalled by that. They were telling the other guys, don't throw missiles.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
And the worst part is going to affect the club. If PSL decides, this...
No, PSL will naturally find them.
Yeah.
But they will say, there's no room for that. Because if, like now, in that game, they could not afford to have the game abandoned. Because it would then give Dynamos
the 3 points. And then, you're also fighting relegation.
Exactly, going into the murky waters. So they needed just to do that. But generally, and everything, Buffaloes will give you the right atmosphere. They will give you the good game. And I think in sometimes, for some time rather, for a long time, this was probably one of the best games that you could see. Well, not maybe quality wise, but
The passion, the hard work.
the
the
atmosphere.
hard work. You could see that the guys were giving in everything that they had. I remember the guy who scored for Highlanders. I could say the name is just keep my mind. The passion, he ran down the pitch and he's like they wanted. Then also comes to I think the coach. Well, my guy, I think he needs to tone down a bit.
Oh, well, he's what Simeone-esque.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of it's more on the excessive side. The complaints, and the way he then does it. If you ask me personally, I think even colleagues may not agree with his modus operandi. But now because they are assisted,
Yes, they might
him,
not.
they cannot maybe tell him flat out.
But yeah,
But sometimes you can tell, because usually I work within the vicinity. So you would see, even from the expression, say, oh, these guys are not. Because I understand, if you feel that done, you can't then, all that, every whistle, every decision, you walk all the way from your dugout to the fourth official, or even to the opponent's, close to the opponent's dugout. I'm like, my guy, you need to.
But sometimes, Bevan, the match officials, the fourth match official must take note of that. Tell the center referee that this is what is happening. He's walking all over. Because remember, the technical areas are well marked.
Yeah.
There is a zone where you should be, and you must not cross that boundary. That's a yellow card. If he does it at the same time,
we've seen that.
He goes and sits into the terraces with the supporters. Then, being an assistant coach to a player like to a coach like De Jong, it means that you need to be a faithful wife to him. But generally, if it was me, being his assistant coach, I wouldn't tolerate such nonsense. Because if he's doing something wrong, I'll tell him straight up, this is not how we do things. This is how we are supposed to do things. If he cannot listen to my advice, when I am his lieutenant, what should I do? I resign. It's not all about the money, but also about who I am as a human being, who I am as a professional coach. I must not be undermined because he is my elder.
Bevan, I'm going to ask you what he said. We were talking off air when Ashley Musa went to play for Dynamos. What did he tell you?
Oh, he said it was back then. I actually called him. I said, Ashley, I hear you're not going to play for Dynamo. Then he says, yeah. Then I said, why? Because he's moving from
Cape United to Dynamos. Yeah.
Okay, that those back then those movements were not as common.
Yeah.
And especially for a player who has had a legacy that he
had. Yeah.
Cape United. So he said, I know kuti muri yangu irarame.
Yeah. Kuti muri yangu irarame doubt unotonyarara. Ndiyonga achita yari kuita.
Because if he says you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired. I think sometimes you know what? I agree with you. But if we all of us were to retain that kind of attitude, none of us would be at work. None of us would be at work, because there are certain times that you have to put up with certain things. Because you can't understand, but like you're saying, there are certain lines that can't be crossed.
Yeah.
Even though you're saying,
I understand the whole he's the boss and I'm the assistant. But surely there's a way that you can speak to him and say, yeah, boss, the decision wasn't for us, but yeah, it happened. Cool it down a bit.
And if you ask me, I think because probably they had the best around in that game, which I say heads off to Zifa and whoever is responsible for doing that, because Brighton did very well in that game. There is no point at which the fans had a bone to chew with him regarding how he had officiated the game. So at the end of the day, I think that was the best choice. So I think some of the rants from the coach were not necessary, because the game was generally...
Don't you feel like it was sort of like an excuse just in case Dynamos wins? to say, it was
Like
the
that
referee.
It
It
could
was
happen.
bound
Yeah,
to happen.
it was a bit sad because the fourth official was Messi Maimba. And the sad part, I think maybe the coach didn't know. She had just received bad news of a brother passing on.
Oh, shame.
So it was no brother. First, it was the father, whom they buried last time. Then I think the father had an accident. So he was along. He was also alongside the brother. So the brother had not recovered. So he said he passed on. So she had just received the message. So it was a very emotional moment, and I was like, as a broadcaster, there was no way I could not even intervene or tell him. No, I was just minding my business. But if you then looked at things, it wasn't as. I think the match officiating was good. But Dijon complains every game. Whether it's wherever you go, the guy is just complaining. And I don't know. Maybe because he grew up more, he's used to the European way of doing things.
Yeah, but still, in
whenever
Europe,
he sees a difference in the African way, if ever there is that, because I understand football is universal.
The rules are the same.
The laws and the rules are the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he then sometimes goes into overdrive in terms of complaining. But generally, if you ask me, in a nutshell, the game was played in the right atmosphere, the right spirit. I think it was worth traveling for.
Yeah. Doughty, even with that 1-1 draw, Dynamo's now in the relegation zone. They had just escaped for a few minutes, but they're back in the relegation zone.
The most terrifying thing for Dynamo supporters is for them not getting the 6 points in the next 2 games. Then they'll be facing the chop.
Sorry. So you're saying they must get 6 points?
6 points.
The 6 points will take them out.
But
remember, they're playing against Bikita Minerals, who are just outside. I think it's a point difference, isn't it?
2 points.
2 points. Yeah. So
they have to pull down Bikita.
They have to
win against Bikita,
and then hope that other teams drop points. The teams that are in the relegation
definitely
battle.
they'll win against Yada.
Yada outside the relegation zone.
No, they are deep inside relegation.
And
but they've got a survival chance.
Yeah, but
if they
that
game,
they are 34.
Yada is winning that match.
34.
So if they win their game, it takes them to 37.
Yada is winning that match.
And
let's switch them.
Yada is playing Dynamos, isn't it?
The next
is Bikita. The next game is Bikita.
Bikita.
Then Yada is winning that match.
It depends who Yada are playing.
Because if they lose that one, then the game against Dynamos.
I remember. I'll give it to him. He said that Yada is going to get relegated. The things that I knew back then about Yada and what's transpiring now, I won't be shocked if they eventually do get relegated. It's as if the project is no longer as exciting
as it was.
As it was.
So yeah.
So there's not much input there. Even if it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you get relegated, it doesn't matter.
There are new babies that are coming.
Yeah.
That are probably a bit more
exciting than
they're taking over.
It's if Yada then goes on to be relegated, for me, I'll tell you, it will be sad because it's one side that I've loved. The way
they play,
the way they do their things. It's I also respect what rentals are. They've got a certain rentals identity. They have a rentals way of doing things, just as I'd seen from Yada throughout the years.
And it's also the same with Bulawayo. I was heartbroken with Bulawayo.
Yeah, but they're coming back.
They're coming back. But I loved, you know what? I fell in love with Bulawayo. It's not.
They gave us something that was better that we did not have in the PSL.
First game, I remember sitting Vietnam stand. I think it was Bulawayo Chiefs Caps United. Oh, I loved that match. That Bulawayo Chiefs were playing the kind of football that I'm used to watching. Yeah, I'm actually looking at triangular passes and I love them. And yeah, having them back in the Premier League would be great. But guys, we were talking about Dynamos. Yes, and their chances of beating Bikita Minerals. And we also said that, they might beat Yada.
They've got Bikita
It's just
Minerals.
two.
They've got Yada.
There are
They've got
3 games to
FC
go, I
Platinum.
think.
Those
But
are
FC
the left.
Platinum now.
Yeah, but the good thing with Dynamos is they're playing all those games at
At Faro Stadium. Yeah.
And
Is it good?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Because, yeah.
Yeah,
because you want
playing
to
at
look at
Rufaro.
What happens?
since the arrival of Kevin Kahindo. In fact, Dynamos has not lost, mate.
Since
It tells you how bad the situation was. Because they've gone probably, at some point, I think 5 games winning.
6.
6
6
games
games winning. But they have not moved
out of the relegation.
the relegation zone. It tells you how bad the situation had been. But I'll tell you, these are games where I think even their crosstown rivals will come and support them.
Yeah,
This I will tell you because at this stage, I don't see Dynamos getting relegated, and I think they're going to win 9 points. Yeah, they're going to win the next 3 games.
That 9 points for Dynamos just spells doom for everybody else, doesn't it?
Who's you know what? I'll tell
That's if 9 points for Caps United, it has to be at least 6. No, it's at least 6 points for Caps United.
Caps
at least
probably need a point also.
They need 2 points. Gaps.
They need 2 points
to be safe.
Highlanders.
No, but you see, these are mathematics that we're doing. Not thinking that those that are below them will be winning also. I think Manica Diamonds are going down.
Yeah, Manica Diamonds.
Minerals will go down.
What is? It's so sad that
Bikita Manica
Akwekwe is already gone. So
is between Yada and Greenfield. Somebody's going.
It's really sad how good Manica
was-
Diamonds were last season, and then
Not just last season, the last 2
the
seasons.
last 2 seasons, and now they're fighting relegation.
When you make wrong decisions, that's what happens.
Manica Diamonds, my players are going to manyisana nechinuka. Simba bora.
No. But even then, even today, if you look at that squad, it's one of the best assembled squads in terms of quality and talent. The current Manica Diamonds team.
Yeah,
but now the problem is when you make wrong decisions.
Like what?
You know, this business of firing coaches. You know, when you fire coaches, right? You've got to make sure that even the appointment of whoever is coming is going to be.
They did the Madagascar.
Yeah, because, look, if Jairus was not doing well, right? Then no disrespect to Mashiri, no. But what has changed?
Nothing.
So
what was the point?
you get that.
Yeah,
That is
what was the
$1 million
point?
question. In fact, that is the diamond question to say what has changed.
Yeah.
You get at the end of the day. Sometimes, if you bow, but if you give in to some of these social media pressures or fan pressure, sometimes you've got to make decisions that can sustain the club.
And the other thing is that I'll give you a chance. The other thing is that most of these decisions, are they informed by strategy or they informed by emotion? Because if you have a strategy as a club, right, and you find that okay, poor results, but we want to get there, are we on track? Then we won't be making these emotional decisions to just say we're firing the coach. You wanted to say something?
All right. Uchitarisa Bikita Minerals when Jairus Tapera was there. Zvinhu zvaifambidzana yakaitori marriage yanga yakanaka. Mumarriage chaimo chama hapana pasina bopoto.
Yeah.
That was just a time yekuti the previous season they've been doing well, but it comes a time yekuti you've got that time when you go down, but they were going to find their way up again if Jairus Tapera was there. Number 2, Bikita Minerals coming from
Manica.
Manica Diamonds coming from a background it was almost after how many years kusina bora PSL. People must not over expect things. Yes, they finished runners up the previous season, but they did well. They did not fight relegation. This year number 2 nekuto wina. Kwavo chachako kwanguri kufight relegation. But with the previous coach, I believe they could have survived mid-table or even in the top 6 because the guy knew exactly what was needed, and also because of the level of maturity. he was yes, he went to the national team. Things did not go well there. But with the Manika Diamond, when you're not mudara kuziya chinhu chake uyu. Zvamungoramba, but I believe that they made a wrong choice and they are going to suffer for it.
Yeah, but I think it's also informed doubt by the investment that they would have made.
Yeah, but it goes back to strategy. Because if you can't invest without a strategy.
Yeah.
So if you then say, okay, fine, we've invested, I don't know how much it is. So results next week are coming. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think we have those a lot of such expectations from these clubs and incidents of such in our local football, where in Shona Jones Fimbi a good. Yeah, it's quite just now. 5 minutes. It's already right. You know, sometimes you need to. I'll give you an example. FC Platinum, they invested a lot in football, and they were always money bags from their time of coming in. But it took time for them to win. Yes, they were impatient at some point, but they then brought the right person in Norman Mapes. They did that. Who told them? I think that, you know what? If we're going to do this, we're not going to rush. We're going to work. And, you know, when they were patient, results started coming. And they became dominant in local football. So I think these are things that clubs need to learn to say, yes, you invest, but the return on investment sometimes is not overnight. It's something that you need to cultivate. You need to work. And
yeah, we'll start with small targets, exactly. Until you reach your large goal. Now let's talk about the team that I did say on this podcast was going to win the league. Scotland FC, Mavira. Yeah, we're winning. I mean, Scotland is winning.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I think if somebody is listening up there, this is a direct, candidate for a certain thing. That is,
a winner.
I
mean, yeah, winner.
I'm saying, apparently everybody now is just endearing themselves.
But didn't I said it before the season even started?
So
we were in here.
By time you are saying it in reference.
No,
you're saying it in reference to your prediction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not the fact that I have a blue jersey.
Yeah, but but you know what? If you ask me, these guys deserve it. They did so. They invested in it, and they made the right investment. Yes, there were some that they were not so right in the initial stages, but they corrected themselves midway. And now the edge that they have is they have, besides the financial muscle and the right commercial blueprint, they have improved in terms of recruitment. Now the edge that they have is they've got experienced players. By experience, I'm not just talking about the number of games, but players who are used to winning. Accolades. Players who have won the Premiership before, so they know how to cross the line. So these are players. These are moments that Walter Sona will come onto the top. These are moments that you're going to see your God knows Muriel unplayable, your Ronald Pumbidzai is unplayable. You're going to have, that's when experience counts. Now knowledge will show you. I've played the game at a very high level.
Yeah.
I come up here to tell you I've won all things. So if you compare it with their fellow newcomers, that's Moors. You realize that's where Moors lost it. They were playing very good football. They're still playing very good football, but the issue is with the experience.
So, in terms of winning that.
Exactly. There's a time that where it then becomes maybe clear or apparent to say, that's when if you're not of a strong orientation, that's when the cookie begins to crumble. So
like it has been crumbling for Simba Bora. Yeah. I don't know what happened to the results for Simba Bora ever since they got knocked out of the Champions League. Remember when we were talking I think Doubt you were there. We were talking about Simba Bora and whether they'll be able to handle the African Safari and the Casalaga Premier Soccer League. It seems like they're getting knocked out of the Champions League affected them. Because after that, have they won a match?
One. They only won one.
One match.
In the last 5 games, they've only won one match.
And it's
been draws,
concerning.
Lose. The challenge is when you are going to play in Africa, you must have a strong squad. The numbers will help you. I can just shift a little bit to Mamelodi Sundowns. They have a team that plays in the PSL on Wednesday. And when they are playing on Sunday, they've got another set of team that plays on Saturday, just like TP Mazembe in the previous years. So they've got a way to balance and mix their squads. But when you look at Simba Bora, they've almost the same 9 people are playing week in, week out in the PSL and also in the Safari. Then you are traveling away from Zimbabwe because of the customers that we don't have.
Both legs, actually.
Both legs. So you don't have the advantage of playing home. And actually, it affected their players, especially when they lost the second leg. How are we going to rebound? Already, they were on top by 2 points. Remember, they came back and they lost. We thought when they got a result, the result that they were supposed to get was the draw that they had with Scotland. If they had done that, if they had won even by a single goal margin, then we're going to say the league is over. But I must also appreciate how Scotland have also come on top of this log. Remember, I was a critic of them. I never gave them a chance.
I don't know why you were a critic. It didn't
good.
make any sense.
They were not just good in the first half.
They were fantastic.
No.
They were amazing.
You see, the problem with people is they don't understand football has changed. Football is not about sexy styles of play or whatever you put it. At the end of the day, you are judged by the results. So
whether
good for them is tiki-taka in Barcelona way of doing things, or Arsene Wenger, Arsenal way of doing things. No. What matters is 3 points. You get that oval thing behind the goal line.
That's it. We're done.
I understand.
Because at the end of the day, you can have your beautiful football and you get relegated. So,
like the other guys.
Yeah, but I've got a point where I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying when it comes to Simba Bora. In terms of the players, they're probably one of the biggest teams in terms of pool of players.
Yeah, but he's saying it's the same players that are playing.
Let me finish. They probably, in terms of quality, they are probably one of the sides that are there. In terms of names, you can say Scotland are the best. But in terms of quality, probably Simba Bora can be the best.
Yeah, that's true. But in terms of, can I come in there? In terms of experience that you also mentioned a few minutes back, the quality of players that have won, the experience that have won so many things. We're talking about Knowledge Msona. We're talking about Kama Billiard. These are legends and serial winners of medals of the highest honor. Can you compare them with Simba Bora players? You
Simba
can't.
Bora, they have within their ranks players that have won things.
Like what?
Like your Blessing Moyes, they've won the titles. I don't know how many times.
The Zimbabwe title.
Yeah.
All right. Can I tell you one drive that was brought in by Scotland? Do you know they realized if we are going to bring in Kama, if we are going to bring in Knowledge Msona, these guys have never won any title in Zimbabwe. That is motivation on its own. And then there is one thing that is motivating these guys also at the same time.
What is that?
The Msona brothers. They want to win something together.
Yeah, but
They are going to win.
That is everywhere.
Okay. I think the what we also have to look at is the psychology of within the team after losing to Nzingizi Hotspurs.
Okay. You know what? For me, I think if you ask me, clubs like Simba Bora, it's more of maybe the systems that may probably run these clubs. Not necessarily when you go to Africa, it's a different ballgame. when you go to Africa, if you're going to succeed, you only succeed if you've got the right structures, if you've got the right setups to succeed in Africa. You may be liquid financially, but there are certain structures that you need to succeed in Africa. And quality.
They can also sponsor this podcast.
Yes, they can. Quality only in terms of players is not enough. There are things that will happen in Africa for you to succeed. So I think, because even we may talk of other things. I mean, Scottland is just a stone throw away from Zimbabwe. It's not like they traveled to, and basically even there isn't much of a difference. You get it? So to say that has been the reason for their slump, for me, will be stretching it. I think there are other things behind the camera, like grapevine is other things that I probably can't share or say on the podcast. But the other things that are there's some instability.
If you can't share it, then it's sour grapes.
Yes,
share it.
There is instability. Okay, I'm sharing.
You're right.
There is instability, maybe within the ranks. Say issues copy and stuff. We see it on social media, but if there had been stability, I don't think they would have problems with that.
Yeah, but we're also talking about a coach who's not very experienced in terms of winning the league.
Yeah, but that, I mean, they all begin somewhere. They all begin somewhere.
But could that be
somebody to give maybe, say for example, have Rene, a platform for him to win.
Yeah, but we're saying was that probably one of the reasons why.
No, I would not put it at this stage with these small things, whatever teams. I don't think so. Amsifire was brought in midway tournament. He won the tournament. He has taken Ivory Coast to the World Cup. He didn't have an experience before. But so he did that. So if you're telling me about experience when they probably had lost to Mamelodi Sundowns, when they had lost to Al Ahly, I would then have that. Not these teams that you can't even pronounce their names. You don't even know
who they are.
But they're called Hotspurs.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the national team. Let's talk about the national team. Brilliant result that we got against Lesotho, defeating the guys like absolutely gave their all in the ground and blood, sweat, and tears, and they were the warriors that they are, and walked away with absolutely no points whatsoever in that match against Lesotho. Probably the only time we've lost back-to-back matches against Lesotho. Remember, is it 2002 when we won the COSAFA Cup? Yeah, we thrashed them, but this time they thrashed us. And should we be worried? Doubt, we'll start with you.
We are worried as a nation, and we should be worried as a nation. We cannot keep on losing to Lesotho, Swaziland, these small nations.
Well, they're not small
because
anymore.
we are dragging behind in terms of development. This, when we are not developing players well, it means Lesotho, they are doing something right. Remember, we only had 5 points.
Listen, Doubt, we've got Mashanise, who's scoring goals for fun.
Nowhere even a coach.
We got Chirewa, who's in there, absolutely fantastic. We've got the experience of Kamabili at Knowledge Msona. We've got the sometimes very brilliant performances of our goalkeeper. What's his name?
Zimbabwe only has got two quality players right now.
Who and who?
It's only the goalkeeper and Marshall Munisi.
Wow.
The rest are passengers. Then we are talking about the
Wait.
Listen, we're talking about the youngsters. Yes, they are very good, to be honest with you. But is the technical team giving them a chance? Are you telling me that Mazwani, who's playing in Scotland, cannot start in the national team?
Well, apparently he can't.
Then the coach must be a plumber, like what role they say.
Plumber. Coach is a plumber.
That's the reality.
That's
We cannot have somebody like that.
Why are you looking at me? What am I supposed to do?
I'm trying to establish. Where he's coming from.
Basically, what he's saying is that, right? They are quality players. They're two Well,
He said that we only have
two quality players.
which I question.
Yes,
The other
but
two are not being played.
the other okay
So
in the
literally
national
said we
okay.
have 4 quality players.
No.
Because he said we have 2 quality players that are being played and the other 2 that are not being played.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yes, well, so therefore,
Maswani say,
Yeah.
Tawanda Chirewa, those boys should be starting.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. We want to move
Yeah.
stage by stage.
stage. Okay.
Because he claims we have 4 quality
Yeah.
players. Right,
For now,
right now.
And he included the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I'll start from where he started. I actually deduced part of our problem from what he was saying. From my lenses, part of our problem in Zimbabwean football, the big brother mentality. He talks of Lesotho and Swaziland and the small teams. He's looking at it from the days of long ago.
From the Kosafa time when we beat them 6-0.
Team, when we still had the residual of the team. Now the problem is, if you are stagnant and everybody is moving, you've got to understand one thing. Because of globalization, the world has shrunk into one global village. So what was happening in Europe and what has made Europe better is now easily accessible.
Yeah, it's trickling into
because
our
of
football.
internet and everything, because of migration and everything. So if you are stuck in old days and thinking that it's just a game where you waltz into a stadium and just beat.
Yeah, but looking at the quality that we have, I might not agree.
I'm going there.
Okay, cool.
No. So I picked that out to say that's we have that in Zimbabwe. So we feel so hard done.
Oh, well, it's there in Nigeria as well.
Listen, they have a reason to.
Yeah, okay.
They have a reason to.
Okay.
I'll tell you. We feel so hard done when we lose to Lesotho, right? But I'll tell you, there is no difference between us and Lesotho now, currently.
Oh, there is.
Lesotho, they are way better than us.
I'll explain to you. But he was calling them small teams.
Yeah, but
Yes,
there's
the
small
small
teams
teams.
that are better than us.
So it makes us smaller. So don't feel hard done.
No, is Manchester United smaller than Brentford?
Listen. Don't cut me. I'm saying, if we play all our games away in South Africa, and Lesotho does the same, right? We are in the same category. So when we lose to Lesotho, let it not surprise you, right?
We are not surprised,
because
but we are shocked by
it's the
men
same
of the
thing.
loss.
Semantics, my guy. Surprise and shock is the same thing. I'm saying, you know what? We need to look at our system and be realistic with ourselves. First and foremost, I will not sit and listen to people say, "Hey, Emagumeni." Well, he can say Emagumeni is a plumber. He can
Yeah,
say
he
that.
can.
It's
Yeah.
him is a fact.
But
Why are you going flat out to the so-called in quotes plumber? Who employed this plumber?
The plumbers themselves also employed
You
you.
see, at the end of
National
the day,
Plumbers
so
Association.
it comes back to what? It comes to our systems. If you're going to be frank and honest, we have got to have systems in place that work and that. Why is it we believe? I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. This has nothing to do with race or anything. I'm just looking at things the way they are. You know what I see in Zimbabwean football is a damage that is 200 years old, over 200 years old. The damage of colonization and slavery, where we are free in just in talk, but mentally we are not free.
We're not free.
We are still very much colonized because we believe white is right. I will tell you, we have never had a situation where our local coaches have been given enough time or the same number of games losing like the current coach.
Oh, you remember Nome
that's
Mapeza? Do you remember Nome Mapeza? It was
Also
2
Zingwa.
defeats and
And
he was gone.
He's vilified, he's chucked and
Yes,
everything. You get it.
Yeah.
But we believe, even the players, anyway, even the players, they believe if it's a European, a Caucasian,
then we're going the right direction.
that's it, white is right. When they see
Yeah,
you,
but it's not colonization.
We
We had
have-
Reinhard Fabish. He made us dream.
you get listen. Now, do you know everything about Zimbabwean football? When you talk about Zimbabwean football, they just Fabish.
Yeah, they still think of Fabish.
But there are other coaches who did relatively well. Maybe not coaching the dream team. You want to look at maybe the cloudy record. It was not bad.
It was great.
Go and look at Numen Mapeza. Before you criticize, I know a lot of people who probably responded.
Yeah.
Look at Numen Mapeza. Have you really, at any point, given the guy a proper campaign to say, okay, Numen, you start this campaign, you finish this campaign.
If you fail to do this,
If something happens, he's criticized. If he says something about certain players, that Michael Nice can say,
and get away with
can't
it.
say. So is that. So at the end of the day, it's our system, innocent.
Bevan, I would like to agree with you, Papa. Because ukatarisa pane nyaya iri kunetsa yapfana kunzi vana vedu vakazvarwa kuengland havasi kuwirirana nemamwe mamethods aNice anditi mumwe wacho tonzi hausi kutamba dai anga ri Norman Mapeza.
Norman did the same.
He did the same. And it
Chimbo
was
dzakutoita
hasitoziva zvaari kuita anomusiyirei.
saka and I do agree. Remember the era of, I'm going to touch on Passoa. Akomana ainge asiri nyore kufamba uri mubhazi ramunhendzva une gumbeze 2 in 1 rekufuga. Nice mupe bhazi aende kwa
You will not travel on a bus. You will not die. I mean, that's one thing.
And get a result.
That's one thing.
And get a result.
That's one thing though that I like about European coaches. You give him conditions like that.
Yeah,
He's
you
not
tell
going
you,
to accept that.
nah, I'm not doing this.
Pasua akaenda ari muna Munorurama. It was Munorurama. Yes, I remember because I was actually chatting to Ronald Tumbidzai when they were going. I was like in my office there. I was chatting Ronima Akupi and Kakora. There's what you go to Toko Road K something. Yes, it's a Kakora something. I was like, okay. By bus. They went on and to bring Zap. But we never supported Kalisto Pasua.
Actually, when he lost at the AFCON, we were like, we don't want him anymore.
You see, we need to have, innocent, I'll tell you, I am hurt by the rate at which we are so quick to pull each other down.
We hate ourselves.
We hate ourselves with a passion. You can look at the African countries that are doing well now.
But
They've got
How many
local
of
coaches.
them?
One way, Bevan, what with the passion, takazvenga with the passion nokunyepa. Aya akusvika pabhonzo chaipo
Yeah,
chaipo.
you see.
Kusvika
Look,
pachimukuru.
Amsify is a local boy. He's doing well with Cote d'Ivoire. They did well with the Senegal, with Aliou Cisse until he left. I don't know who's in charge of Senegal now. You've got a number of cases. I think Cape Verde, they've got a local
coach, yeah,
who's doing well. Ghana, they've got a local guy who's doing well.
It's taking them to the
World Cup. So at the end of the day, because I'm not saying we should not get coaches from Europe. No, not even. But when we do get coaches from Europe, we are outsourcing special skills that we do not have, and it should show on the field of play. There are certain excuses that you have in from the current coach that I will not take as first as a journalist, second as a fan. If there are things that you're seeing that are not right with our football, we have brought you to correct
them.
You can't be bemoaning those and giving them as excuses for the wrong results. So, because we have had coaches that have brought us results with way you're having way better conditions than they had. So at the end of the day, he never traveled to a game on a Panorama bus.
Yeah.
He's flying everywhere. In fact, in terms of stability, he's probably having a bit of stability, and he's having a better more in terms of quality from what he's saying. And he says a lot of interesting things. We don't have systems like when he's justifying his selections. He tells you we don't have local football, does not have data, from which he can select the players. But he's got players from certain teams.
That's a lousy excuse.
That's
because you've got data for... Are you saying the local players are doing better than the ones that are in Europe? You've got the data of those guys, but you still can't get the best out of them.
Carpenter blames his tools.
Exactly. And also, if you go back to all the times that we've qualified and we've done a bit relatively well, we had players from the local scene.
Yeah.
Now we shun. You know what? A player from the local scene, when he's going to play maybe alongside Maswanis, for example, or alongside Tawanda Chile, he's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
Not to say it I'm better than Chile or Masani. No. Even when he knows, probably when Masani goes back to Motherwell, you say, guys, there is a player who plays defensive midfield from my team, from my national team. I think if you ever look at this guy, you're going to see something. So they will play because already the best thing that has happened to Zimbabwe now is these guys born in the diaspora that are coming. We need just to manage it well. It's a very good thing. But we're saying, let us not then black out because we started all the campaigns under Michael Nice. Washington Navaya, Aripam Soro is a top goal scorer. He can make it. Timon Machope, he can make it. We were thinking that, okay, Mauchi was now being groomed to take over.
Yeah.
And now Mauchi is
not even the squad.
We don't even know what he has done wrong, how he is. At the end of the day,
I don't get how all those players haven't played, yet we've been playing dead rubbers since when? Since May. How is it that they haven't played?
Ndopatinodzoka paya totarisa manje kuti driver webhazi ari kudriva bhazi rakaita sei rine injini here katiri kuita zvokupushwa. Right. We've got Zifa. We've got a new TD. We've got a national teammate coach. We've got Navaya as the top goal scorer. We are failing to score goals.
A goal.
We are happy about a 0-0 lousy 0-0 draw against South Africa.
One of the technical guys was on the pitch celebrating.
Why should we celebrate a 0-0?
Yeah, but well, if you ask me, I think Hugo Bros, I mean, he says a lot of negative things about I personally would have celebrated because I mean not that I would have it had anything to do with the Bafana not going to the World Cup or what, but I'm saying sometimes you know what, you've got to attach a bit of respect to us.
Yes, all the same. Having said all of that, we want to look at the style of play that Zimbabwe is playing right now, right? What is it? That's my question. What style of play? Michael Nice has been there over a year, right? And I understand the first couple of months still to find his way. I watched the Lesotho game. I don't know what style of play we're playing. I remember at one point we were complaining about, it's don't get a do bora, long ball. I understand that. In those days we had Mushekwi, right? He would control the ball. The speedy wingers would come and collect the ball. We got results.
Yeah, it's difficult to call. The only time that I would remember we had a style of play that you could maybe pinpoint was when we were under Cloud Dieter Pagels. Cloud Dieter Pagels had introduced a system where you could see what he's trying to do. I don't know with the current setup. Well, to be frank with you, I'm not that kind of a person who will sit here and just be blasting the coach. I don't think so. When he came, he stabilized because we would concede silly goals in most cases. He brought a bit of stability in terms of, you know what, in terms of discipline within the lines. I will give that to Michael Nice. He did that. But I don't know, maybe it's how lean his technical bench is, because you then need people who will assist him with transitions from creative zone to finishing. But sometimes you can tell the blocks are there, the lines are there.
Well, it's not that difficult. You've got all of the players behind the ball. And what is our attack strategy? We're counter-attacking. With who?
Do we have it?
We don't have
the first thing
the speed.
The first thing is, when the TD comes into office, he should have a plan for us as a nation, how we want to play as a nation, starting from the under 15s, 17s, 18s, 20 or 23s to the national team.
Yeah, that's where the problem is. His jurisdiction ends with the under 23. The national team is when advice is sought for. If it's not there, I think so. At the end of the day, the only way to circumvent that issue is if you're going to have it from the junior teams, like you say, then when these guys graduate into the first team, they have got the same culture.
Yeah.
Look, Renald Fabish, the one that we talked about, he started with under 23s. So the transition into the first team was
smooth.
Was smooth because these are players that who understood what the coach wants. So now you've got a different culture which the TD is initiating and instituting throughout junior football. Then when you get to senior football, it's a young Jagenja. So at the end of the day, you will not have.
Yeah, that's unfortunately all the time that we have. But I seriously am hoping and playing because I believe that if we have a system, then we can fit in the players that fit that system. But if we don't have a system and we're playing chero, chero tikaisa mashani anogoesa every week, guys. Goesa chuno. Chero mukaisa msona kabva achigoesa kuningikini kuUAE asi kuzogoesa ipapo. It's just not going to work. And what I also want to say is that the win at Anfield was a fluke.
Yeah. You have to know that Manchester.
Congratulations to Manchester United.
Fluke or no fluke. Brighton, fluke or no fluke, Liverpool lost. Yes, him to grow by. That's matter. Him to grow by. Him Dagotikaro and him to grow by. Takaguro by.
That's what I charge you about.